record. Okay, so today is August 24th.
Yeah.
And we are module 5, day 2. And Mohammed Moslin will show us how to develop this homework. Okay, do it.
Okay, sure. So here, before we start our developing project in Node.js, we just create some database here. So we can and before we create database, I just create a users here. It's called root, or I can create new users. So then I have to just go to create login and groups row. So because I'm using like marketplace DB, so here we can use a username. It's called size like marketplace user, and here we can give a password for this user. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, and privilege we have to keep like this user can do anything, like our this default user. So if you want to create new user, you can create. If you don't want to create new, you can use this Postgres user. This is the super user for this whole databases. Every database accessed by this one. So after you give this access, you can just save. Then it will create a new user in our PG admin. So there we have the new user here. Then we can create a database here. So you have to click database, and then we have to give a database name here. So we just say like marketplace. Then here you have to select a user of this database. So we can use this marketplace user as a user for this database. That means this database can be accessed by this user. So when we do the connections, we have to give a user equal to this user, and database equal to this database, and the password is the is this user's password. When we are creating this user, we give a password like 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we can use this one. And then when I creating database, that time we also have to give some privileges to this user. This user what can do or what cannot do. So on the security, we go plus and select a user. So here we are selecting a user, and we are giving the privileges, what can do, what cannot do. And this is actually grantor, which user is granting this privilege. So this is default, we cannot change this one. So if we give these privileges, then this user can do anything on this database. So if I didn't get the privilege create, this user can access this database, but he cannot create anything, cannot create the tables. Then if we do the connect, then it can be create the tables, but we cannot do connections with these users. That's why you have to give everything. So yeah, then we just save. Then what happened, it will be create another database here. It's called marketplace, and we already have users here. It's called market users. And when we are creating our project, that time we just give those details in our connection page, like .env file. So here I create a repository, that means a project. Just few commands I run, like npm init -y, and then some packages. So you can check what packages I install. I install pros is for our server middleware for the connections thing, or whitelist, make the whitelist things. And I install the express, I install the express validator and fs extra, and we use the path and pg. So these all dependencies packages we installed for our project, and I use these two packages is for the development purpose. That means when we upload this project in our server, these two package will be not installed on the server. When we upload the project in our server, it will install only those dependencies. And I just change this one and this one you already know how to do it in Node.js. So after this, I just create .env file here. So you can see .env file here. We give a put for our backend. So when we run our project, we have to give our connections link like localhost slide then colon this port number to run in a Postman when we call this one. So this is the port number, and here the our database details. So here I already show you. Suppose here I can now I give the root is our user. This user I created. I just showed before, and this is our database which I created, and this user's password. Okay, and this is the our database port. Okay, this port is our backend port, and this port is our database port. And in the database URL, so this is the normal connection URL. So this is by default, and then slice this pg user means this route, this password means this password, and host is coming from here, and this is for the actually pg host, and this one is the port. So when we check our like in our here, so here see if you check the connection string here, so here it will be something like this. Okay, so this is users, or if you check the Ubuntu give us this one. So the here the deployment URL is a username, and so we just updating with those variable name, right? In our connection, we are not say we can actually directly hard coded this one with the same value is this one, but we are not double that means double updating. Then we have to every time we change this one this value, and we have to also update here. That's why we just keep a variable values here, and then we call the variable name in our URL.
Okay,
so,
that's for the deployment in Heroku, right?
Yeah, when we develop our upload our project in the Heroku, we just change this URL. Like the Heroku give us this URL, and we just update this one. And then because we are working on the local host, so in the here I create some actually folders on the SRC. So on the SRC, first I just create server.js. So in the server.js, we just importing this express and this cross, for the our waitlist, or make the IP addresses waitlists. So we have to use the cross, and then we are using services index page. So in the services, I just create an index page, and I'm giving the our routes details. Okay, so here in the services, actually I create two folder, one for the products, one for the reviews, but currently I'm just working on the products. That's why I just import the products route details, and I'm just passing these routes in our that means I'm just exporting this route details in our services.
Well, I'm confused. Which index.js was that? Was the inside project? Oh no.
Yeah,
in services.
Inside the services, I create an index.js file. Previously, how we call our routes. So previously we create routes here, like here in the products. We export, and then we import routes here, like import routes name from this folder project, and then we use like here like this app.use route, and then route name, function name. So we are not doing this routing here, we just passing from here. So we can add, if we add reviews function, also reviews routes here. So we just when we do the routes here, so we just input the routes here, and we pass this value here. So currently, if you check in the server, this is empty, but we just say services. Services means in our services index.js, if we give endpoint, more endpoint, currently is this one. So if we give more endpoint like reviews. Then when we test this project in our Postman, that time we can actually call slice products also. We can call the reviews also. So we will create our routes here, and we can access all the routes from here. Understand?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So if we don't want to do like this, we can do, suppose we have to input this one on the server, and we have to create this one on our SQL server page.
Yeah.
Currently, we're not doing in here. We just grabbing from the others index page. And
Okay.
this one is for the our server running. So app.listen, and then we have to give a port number. So okay, so we create the server, and then we did the server connection thing, that means DB connections. So on the DB connections, currently we are doing the local host. So we just here we just import PG package, and then from the PG package we are taking this function. So this function is giving us a DB connections string. So if you check the here, so this is our PG connections package details. So if you go to connections, you can see this PG is give us the pool, and if we just call the pool, that means is the database details, and it automatically pool will use the environment variables. So env variables. So we create the .env file, and we already give those details in our env file. And when we create the, when we just call this one this pool, it will automatically grab the all details from the .env file. So we don't have to give the other details here.
Okay.
So yeah, so after we did the suppose in the connections, so we just did this one, and this these variables we are just exporting. Okay, so when we do the and then I just create a script folder and on the SQL file. So in the SQL file, if you go here, so here I just write some SQL commands to create our tables. So here I just say create table if not exist. That means if already have a table, it will not create table again and again. So it will only create one times. And then here our table name is products, and we are giving product ID like in our homework. It says in our product table we will need this ID, name, description, brand, image URL, price, category, and this values. So I just follow this format. That means those all variables in our table, and we have to keep some data types. So ID always integer and is primary key, and it will be generated auto. That means we don't have to, when we are creating any products, we don't pass any ID. It will be automatically generated by the our database. And name, we put a varchar is a data type, and description I give it text because if you use the varchar, it's limit 255, but if you use the text, then you can, there is no limit. You can 1000 words you also can enter. No problem. That's why I use the description text. And for the brand, I also use the this and image URL I use the varchar, and price I use the integer, because we can do the calculations because price is, or if you want to use .000 something, then you have to use the varchar. You cannot use like integer. But I use the integer because it will be easy to calculate something. And then category also keep the varchar. And this thing default, when I use the default now, it automatically take the current time. When I'm inserting some value, I didn't pass, I don't pass those value. It's defaultly automatically take the current my system time. And also for the same, we are creating one reviews table. So here I use the ID as like same thing here. And then comments, I use the varchar. so user can put a length of 150 characters. So if more than 150 characters, database will not input this value. It will show some error. So we just limiting. If we want to keep some extra value like 255, then it will be user can give the comments until 255 characters. And rate, I just put integer because it will be something 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And product ID. So this product ID and this ID must be same. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. So here. So this ID and this ID will be linked when we joining. That time we link this one and this one. Okay. And the data type is must be same. So if the prime so the this type and this type is must be same. And its reference means we are just doing the connections with products table. So when we delete anything on this ID, it's automatically delete this reviews also.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why we just delete on cascade. We just use this function and
On delay on cascade. Okay, and then okay, but okay.
So if you use this one, so here suppose ID is 1, and if we use delete the product ID 1, then it's automatically delete all the comments which product ID equal to 1.
Okay.
Okay. So here after this, we run a create table function. So in the create table function, we use fs extra to use this one. That means we want to read our SQL file.
Yeah.
So we keep some database. So here we create this table, right? SQL file. So we want to modify our. That means we want to read our file, and we want to grab the all SQL command and run. So here you see we just connect input our connections like DB, and then here this is SQL file. So why are using CWD. CWD means is the root folder direction, and then we are passing. So if I'm saying CWD, that means I'm here, and then I'm going to looking to SRC folder here. So in the SRC folder, I have the SQL file, and then SQL file have this file folder have this file. So this file we can find like this. So we have our SQL file path. Then then we just create a function, and then in the function we just say this fs read file equal to this. So when we read file using the fs, it's always returning us buffer. It doesn't. So then we converting our buffer to string. And here's when we converting to string, then it will become our SQL command. That means it will be like this. So when we are reading, that time is just like hold on, script in script index. Okay. So when we are only read the file, it's returning buffer, and then we converting buffer file to string, and it's the string SQL command. And then we just say here db.query equal to our SQL query. So in the SQL query, that means we can write. If it doesn't provide like this, we have to provide like whole commands. This all the SQL command in our this brackets. Okay. So we don't want to do like this. That's why we just grabbing from our database and we just passing here our commands. That means this SQL command means this whole SQL commands. Understand?
Okay.
Okay. So when we running this query, then if it's success, then it will give us default tables are created in our console. Okay. If anything problem, if SQL command is not running or any connections problem, then it goes to here error. Okay. Okay. Then after I create the tables, I go my database and I'm checking is the table is here. So I go marketplace and schema and public. Under the table, I refresh, so I can see those tables.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So in the table, if I check columns, so I have the columns which we given in our SQL command, right?
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So those. So currently, I already pushed this all thing in my repository. So if you just pull my repository or pull on my repository, then if you just install npm I, then you have to create .env file and you have to give your database details here.
Okay.
Then it's automatically, when you run the server, it automatically just create the tables on your database. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna try to do it. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to do it by myself because I
Okay.
think I can do this.
Now,
Let's-
okay, now we go to next what I did. So after I did the connections and I create the tables, I go to products folder in the services. So I have two files here. You can see. So I create a handler.js file. On the handler.js file, here we just did our db import, that means connection file. So it will return us a db function from the connections. If we go to our connections page, you know, that means this connection.page we need this one, this db, and this db means it will give us a connection. So here handler, so we input this db because when we use any query like this query, we need this db dot queries, okay, and our sql commands.
Okay.
That's why you need this db, we have to import. If it doesn't import the db, we cannot write only this query equal to this one. We have to put db dot query. So this db, and this db means the connections, database connection. That means this localhost, username and user password database, all details is provided by this db. So I create a list function, and then here I just say products equal to db query select start from products. So it will return me all the products if I have any products in my database, in my tables, in the product tables. So if I have anything, I found anything, it will be on the response, it will send me the all the rows whatever he found. So this is and then after I create this list in the routers.js, so here we just express router means we can from the express we are taking the route function and we are calling this route here. Okay.
Yeah.
So this route dot get method endpoint, we use the slice method, and we are saying here product handler. This means this product handler means this handler here handler. So here if you go suppose you can see here route.js. So here we just say a star s product handler from this handler. That means we don't have to pass from the, suppose in the handler we didn't we export everything, we didn't set default export, right? We something at the end of the page we just call default export this function, but here we didn't use any default function. That means all are export. So we can actually call we can actually here we can use like this, like that means we can use quotation, that means this one, and we can actually in not like this, we just say here, and we have to pass everything like list comma create comma update comma single comma, like this we have to call everything. So we don't want to like this, that's why you just say you grab all export functions from this product handler. That means whatever you have in the handler exports, so it will take the all like list dot create. That means is can be anything, but we know as a product handler, and then we are saying product handler dot list function. Understand?
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
So when we running this one, it's automatically calling this function. Okay. Understand? Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So And then same thing. I think I did some mistake here. Okay. Okay. It's giving some errors here. Okay. Route.delete. Okay. So I'll go here later. Okay. So you understand this one? First one?
Yeah.
Is calling the list. So how we doing this single products, we need the product ID. So we just say product ID we are going to provide here also. So and then here we just say we are calling delete product method, this one. So last one, our function is delete products, and here route we are saying if the route is the delete, then we call the delete function.
Okay.
Okay. And this product handler create. Okay. So and then we are exporting our route as a this route. So this route we are calling in our index file. See, so we are that means product routes. Product routes means this whole thing, and is we are calling this here. That means this route.js file we are product routes we are exporting from here. That means this, see, you can see product.
I don't understand where is the product router, because I can see router, but I don't see product router, and so I got confused.
Router from Express. Router is from Express.
So
okay.
if I use here product route, then I have to
okay.
I have to use I have to use the route equal to.
Okay, in this route you could also call, we usually call it
because
product route too.
No, here you can see, so whatever
yes, you can give whatever name.
Getting, so is calling this route dot use, and is sending this one, and this one is coming from the router.js. So you have to export something it's like not route. Yeah. So okay, we are not sending here, we don't saying here product routes, we are sending routes because we are converting these routes here. Okay. This route equal to this route. Okay, just run. If have any problem, then we have to change this route to our route name. We have to just here we have to call like this, index this route. So here we just say it's not routes, we just say product routes.
Yes, usually yes, right?
Yeah. So we just say here. Yeah. So here we're just saying this product routes and all the routes here.
Yeah, they will be product.
And we are also exporting this our
product. Okay, now I understand.
Okay, so our server is running, so we can test is this have any products in our table. So what we have to do in our post, we have to open our Postman to test. I'm going to open. So you know our server is running on 3001.
Yes.
So we are on the Postman. So currently in the Postman, if I run the select command, okay, like first one, get one, what it will return? What do you think?
All the list, all the
table.
JSON that you have in the database.
Yeah, but in our table, we have any data for this?
I don't think so. We haven't put data, right?
We didn't insert any data here, so we have to if we just call, then it will not return us anything. That is, will give us empty array.
Okay, we should first post then, right?
We're just testing it. If it gives any error, then we have to fix our program. If we give null value, that means just empty, then it's okay. But when we import something, post something, then we can use. Okay. So here I'm going to create a just say development, and here we are going to give a variable. So it's a base URL, and our what will be the value? HTTP colon localhost
3001
3001, and current value also same. So OPN. Okay. So this is our variable, and okay, I just save. And here I have to create a collection. So this collection, I'm just saying like products. And I'm going to create a request here. So this request is suppose get all products, or I just say all products. And here is get method. In here we just say, okay, we have to change the environment development, then it will give me the value. There's the URL, then we have the products, right? So if I just send a request now, what it will return? It's returning us null value. That means it's connection with database. Is connection with database and is giving us null value because we doesn't input anything, post anything yet. So then we just create another one, and we just try to push something. So before I push something, I just want to show you what we did in the post method, right?
Okay.
Add product. So get all products function, you understand, right? So if I go get one, so get in the get one and the handler.js, I just say this command, right? So list, I'm calling this list function, and in the list function, I just say select star from products. It will give us the all products. But when I'm going to create this one, I'll call this function in my routes. This one post, I'm calling this create function here. So in the create function, I just say insert products. So you have to update our those things. I'm just removing. I'm just going to comment this, or then we'll keep ours. So here we know what in our database. So I just go to our tables, SQL tables. So we have those values, right, in our table columns. So we have to send name, we have to send that description, brand, image URL, price, category. We will send those values. This will be automatically server generated, and these two automatically server generated. So you don't have to send these three. We have to send only these values. So I just take notes, and here I'm just for the just note purpose. It's not our. We are not going to pass this one. So here we are going to write our SQL command. So what our SQL command? So you have to use this this thing you can see. So so this one, and then you have to write like insert into. So and then our table name. Our table name is products, and then here we have to specify our column names. So we are going to insert our names. We just put names, comma, description, comma, and then brand, and then image URL, and then price, and we are going to send also the category. So these all our column names, right? So we need this thing. Now we have to say the values. What will be the values for these all columns? So just say values, and then in the brackets we have to pass the payload's name. So here we have to create some we have to take the from the bodies, we have to take some variables name here. So just put also the same name here. So those actually will come from our body, request body.
For the request body, yeah.
Yeah. So on the request body, when we are sending data, so it will take, that means body dot name equal to, we can find our name of the products. So image URL and then price, and you need the categories also. So those variables below is coming from our request body, and then we can remove this thing. Okay, we just take once. So when we are sending belows, that time, if is it string, then we have to use the double quotation. Okay, I just put this one. And we don't need this one. So here, if name is string or the integer, so if this name is, we know this name is string, so you have to put this single quotation, and then for the dynamic value we have to use $sign and this third packet. So in the third packet we use this name. So we have to match this first value with this value, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Same thing we will do for the rest. For the description, so we will take this description here and is string. That's why we are using double quote and this one, and also for the same brand, comma $sign, and we take image URL is also a string. So if not, okay, I have to put this one single quote. Okay. And image URL also is string, so you put image URL and then price. So price is integer, so you have to put the double quotation or not. We don't need to put the double quotation here, we just say like this, right? Because it's integer. When it's integer, okay, we don't use these quotations. Okay. If string, then we use this quotation.
Okay.
So the last one is our category. So you just say there's a category. Okay, and here this returning a star, it will give us the newly created values in our newly created row as
JSON, yeah.
In our return. So now it's ready to use. So you can see these products equal to this DB query, and on the response we are sending these products the new rows. Okay.
Okay.
So now we can call this function, and in the route we just say on the post method we are using endpoint equal to this one. So you don't have to write here, we don't have to write like create something. So that means this endpoint slice means we can use this one for the our post also. So in the end add products, we just say change this to post method, and our URL same URL, so you don't need to give any endpoints, and we just go to body and change to row and change this one as a JSON. And here we have to post some JSON below like this one. So here those all values, so you don't need to send this one is called server generated, and we don't have to send those values. Okay. And we do send this thing.
The comments you have to take away, right?
Yeah. So here we have this one also. Okay. So this one, okay, we are sending. Suppose here a product name is suppose iPhone 6, and description is something large, no problem, and brand is suppose Apple, and here we are sending suppose our this image.
You actually can create like a random, like
yeah, I can use the you can use the random, but
I think that's cool, that thing, a random.
Okay, then let's try to do something with random.
I think you need two sets. Yeah, two sets of this. Yeah. Random product.
Random products is given.
Yeah,
let's
try
check.
random pro.
Yeah.
Password product. Yeah. See.
Yes. Okay. And
for description, I think there is random product. There's no description. Random product adjective or something.
I think you have to use random.
Random Lawrence, you can use.
But try before Lawrence. Try random product adjective. Let's just see.
That means product description something.
Product objective. No.
Material.
Yes, let's see this one. Oh, material. I don't know.
See
in the
details.
Top,
see a random product details. Okay, try this to see.
Objectives. Example, it will just give us tasty, eco-friendly, like this.
Oh, weird.
You can use product name in the top. In the product name, you can use.
I'm going to change this one as a random product name. Random product name. And this one we just say random
product. Okay.
Lawrence.
This
or Lawrence.
Lawrence text. Yeah. And brand. I think I'm not sure.
I think there is
brand
product.
Random have any brand? Brand name. I think doesn't have the brand.
A company. There is a random company.
Okay,
if I'm not wrong. Yes.
Okay, company name. Okay.
Yes.
And image URL, you can use the image.
Picture, yeah, there is a
random avatar or no image.
Image URL, I think. Random URL.
Image URL, this one?
Yes.
Okay. And price, you also can give a integer.
Random numbers.
Random number, or let's check any price have. Yeah.
There's price.
Cool.
Okay. And also for the categories.
That's there's I don't think so.
Okay. So random category here. I think doesn't have the category.
It would be product category, maybe. I don't know.
No, products only giving us random products have products name, product materials, product objectives. So just say word. Okay. So it will give a single word. So okay, we have the data, and we are going to post this one in our post method. This one. Okay, we have everything. Let's check this is creating our table data or not. Yes. Okay. Okay, so it's returning us products. Okay.
Moslin, can I ask you something? Why does when Ube do it here on the left, it gets like get, but when we do it like post, and when I do it, it is like yours.
No,
like...
I have to save.
Oh, okay.
I didn't save this.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Good to know.
If I save, then it's post. Okay, so you can create new one again. So you just click again, then it's creating second products.
Okay.
And if we click, okay, next, so it's creating third product. So first time when we run this command, it give us null, right? So let's try this one again. So it's returning us our all data. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, now you have to do the single one, right? So on the single one, we have to send our product ID as a variable. Okay, that means as a parameter, we have to send an ID, and we are calling the single this one. So in the single function, we go to single. So in the single, we are taking a parameters product ID from our parameters. That means our parameters is this one. product ID is our parameters. So we are taking these parameters from our parameters, and then in the query we are saying select a star from the products where product ID equal to this product ID. Understand?
Yeah.
And if it's found anything and is sending us as our return. So now we just try in our Postman. We just say we just create this one, duplicate, and here we just say single. And here I'm not sure why it's not duplicating the well. So in the single we just post this one, and we have to send a variable now, like one product ID 1, product ID 2, product ID 3. So if I send product ID 1 and send, so it's returning us product ID 1.
Yeah.
But what is this?
Oh, this is the check if you have product 1 in the database.
Yeah,
in the
I
get.
have. Yeah,
You
I
have
have.
it.
Yeah, so you see.
But are you sure the ID is one? Yeah, the ID is one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back and check one more time. Single length. File position
That is
code.
the you already told me
Okay,
there the
let's
file.
okay, no problem. Let's check what happening here. So okay, I don't need this thing. I just close. Okay, in the single pay single we are sending like product ID here, and in the route we are taking this product ID and this function. So it should return from the products table. And if
where
send what status is sending? Is sending 500. That means in our commands have some problem. So let's check in our.
After where did you put the condition?
Yeah.
Where product ID?
Oh, this is not a product ID. We have only ID, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
don't you have to use triple equal? No, to make the condition.
No need. On the SQL we have to just say equal. So it will mark. Now it will work. See, it's returning our products.
Good, great.
And if you go to check here to check our tables here, if we just refresh one time and then we go to view all data, then we can see our newly created all 3 products data here. See, we have the 3 products here.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, now we done 3 requests, and now we have to do the update and delete one also, right? So here in the routes we are calling this port request for the update, and here we are calling the update function. We are sending a product ID as a parameters. So here for the update products, we are calling this product ID from our parameters. That means we can get which ID, and then here we have to get the values. So those values is we are sending from our database. It should be same. We are not sending those values. Okay, so here from the request body, when we are going to update this one, so what we are going to send? We are going to send these all values, right? Also we are going to update those values. We are not updating the ID. We are going to update those things. So we have to, when we request body, we are sending those request body. Those are the request body's parameter. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have to take parameters, variables name from the request body, like name, and we need the description. We want to update the description. So, and then we are going to update brand, and we are going to update image URL also, and we are going to update this price and category Okay. Okay. Then we have to use the command here. Okay. So we are updating the product tables. So we just say update products, and then for the update we are use the set keyword. Okay. So update set, and then we have to say name equal to our this question mark $, so on, and the name. Okay. Same thing, and then we just say comma, and description equal to, we just same thing, we just say here is a description. Let me check one thing. We need to send in a quotation. Okay, we have to send a quotation because all are string, right? So we have to use single quote and name, single quote, description, or we can, that means we can make it like this, then it will be more understandable. Okay, set name, description, and then I just copy and paste. We have to use comma here, and suppose this brand equal to brand image equal to, just copy this one again. So URL price category. So image URL equal to image URL price equal to. So for the price, we need this quotation or not? We don't need the
no, because it's an integer.
Integer. Okay, you understand.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we just give a variable names here, and we're just saying return what you got. Okay. And then on the status, we just say here we just in the found we just say this one. That means the new updated products, it will be found, and we are sending this found as a in our status equal to 200 and our data. Okay. So now we can send a request for the update. Okay. We just copy this one also, and we are going to update. So here we are changing this to put in the body. We are going to say this thing. So it will be also randomly generated. Okay. Randomly update. That means product name will be randomly changed. So we just check. Okay, we have to select.
Maybe you could put, instead of only the random stuff, you could concatenate with some number, like the random product plus.
Okay, so let's
random
check.
Number.
Okay, so we're going to update this one, right? Product ID 1, we are testing this one. So currently our value is this. So here we are just we are going to update product. So just update product, and we are going to update product number, which is ID equal to 1. So this is our value, right? This is our current value.
Yes.
This is our current value. So but we don't want to update. We want to, that means this all thing is the current value. So here, okay, I just say everything is same. Just we want to here, we just want to change the price. Okay, so it's currently price is 190. We are going to say it's 250, and let's try. So if we doesn't give those data, then we no need to give those data, because in the query, what we write in our query, we are sending only those variables, right?
Yeah.
So in our query is check, we are sending only name, description, brand, image, price, and category. So we also give those values here, and then we just change one value is called price. This was 195, and this one. So we just test now. So now check the price. So previously the price was 195. Currently the price is updated to 150.
200.
And also check in that database. So you guys refresh here one time, and we are going to view the page again. So you go to view all data, and we are going to check the price updated or not for the product number 1. So we go and we can see, okay, it's updated all the price. Okay, because we didn't run the where product ID equal to this product ID. See?
Okay.
So here our
Okay.
ID equal to, we have the product ID, right? From the parameters, this ID. So we have to call this one like this and ID. Okay. Now if we run, it will update only this product ID. It will not update the all products ID. So because we didn't say hire this one, that's why it's changed the all product price to 250.
That's very.
Yeah. So now we are going to update again. So this 250 is just changing to the 500, and it will update only this price. And we're going to say our database again. We are just returning again, and we can see the first one is changed to 500, but rest is 250. So it's only updating the first one now, because we use the higher clause. So we can also update our products also. Now we will need to do the delete products. So for the delete products, what we did, we just call the delete function here. And if you go to delete function, here we call take our parameters. This parameters is come from here, right? So we take this one, and we no need to take the body, and we just saying here TB result. Here we just saying delete from the products where product we not the ID. So where ID equal to this product ID. How that means this query, if we run in database and you just say delete from products where ID equal to 1, and it will be delete our product. So same thing we are doing like in API. So here we are just sending query is called delete products from the products where ID equal to this ID. So if we send here, so currently we have how many products? We have the 3 products, right? So we have the 3 products. So we have the 1, 2, 2 and 3 products. So we are going to delete like third number products. So here we are going to add any new request. So this request, the method is the delete method. Here we just say delete product, and our URL is something like this. And I'm going to save this one. So is delete base URL products. If I send ID equal to 1, it will delete the first product. So I'm going to send third product. And if I send this one, what is happening? So it's returning 200. Okay, that means it's deleted. Now I go to my database and I check this one again. Currently I have 2 values. The third number product is deleted, right? So we already done this all products thing. Now now we have to do the same thing for our reviews. So here we are going to create another one. It's called the reviews. So we just say here. So we have to create same thing here. If you go, suppose in the routes, if I go to index page, currently it doesn't have anything. So I can copy. That means I don't need the index. I need 2 files. One is handlers.js. Okay. And another one we need is called router.routes.js file. So in the route.js file, what we do, we just do same thing. We just copy this one and paste it here. But this is not our products routes. This is our reviews routes. So we just change this products routes to, we just say here is reviews routes. Okay. Okay. So, but in our handler, this is empty. So we have to create also handlers. Same thing for our this reviews also. So we already did one time. So we just copy paste and then modify it. So you just paste it here. So here everything is here. Now we have to call this change this route reviews. So here we just say this is the our this one. So here handler we just change to product handler to review handler. Review handler, that means this review handler is this all. That means we can call review handler dot list means this function. So here we are just saying this review here any function as this review handler, and we are going to change this handler thing. So here we just review handler dot list, review handler dot update, review handler those days, and review handler create. Yeah, so it's done. So we have this one and its review. Okay. So here in the handlers, we're going to change our table's name. So here we just say select start from products. So we are currently not calling that is fine. We're going to select, we are going to select our reviews, not a products. So here we have to give us products name, table name. So what our table name? Our table name is the reviews. So here we just say select, we just say reviews equal to select start from reviews. So, and we have to send these reviews is our this one. Okay, so we have the routes here and we have the handlers for this one. So this whole thing we will do later. Just say we have this only this list one. So we have we just create the routes. This route is not actually calling in our services index page. We just saying here reviews also we are calling these routes, but we are not taking these routes. We are taking reviews folder. In the reviews folder have the routes page. So this is reviews route.page, and in the reviews routes we are calling this reviews route. So we change this product routes to reviews routes, and for the reviews it will goes to this routes page folder, and this routes folder we have this thing, we have those parameters, and we only have the currently the list one. We doesn't have actually those things. Okay, let's try.
But you need to create a database for
okay,
the
I think
reviews.
here is the some not matching.
You have to create a database for the reviews, no?
We already created a not the database. We just created tables, right?
The
so,
tables, yeah.
This is our we have two tables. So one is the products, one is the reviews.
Okay.
Those table we create when we run this SQL file. So in the SQL file we was have two tables. One is the products table, one is the this reviews table.
Okay,
right?
it's gonna create. Okay.
It's gonna create. Okay.
But the database you need to create it before. That's the first thing that you need to do, right?
Yeah. That means actually we have to create this one, and we create a script here, create tables, and the create table we just call this SQL file commands here. So in the SQL file we say is we just say create these tables if not exist, right? So when we running our server second time and third time, so it's not going to create again and again.
Okay.
So it will just create once.
Okay.
So here we are calling all functions, single, update, those things, but in our currently in the handler we have only the list, so it will not work. That means it will give us error. So for now we just don't want this thing. We just want the list one. So currently we have the list, and in our handler we also have the list function. So we just want to try this get one. So now our server is running, and we want to get the test our reviews. Okay, so here we just say get method and we just say reviews. But if I call the reviews now, all reviews, it will not give us any reviews because in our database currently is empty, right? If I go our check our reviews table, if I go to the all view rows, so that this reviews table doesn't have any value, any data yet. So see, it's no data because we didn't insert anything. So it will, that means when we call this reviews, it will return us empty value. So here we just call our base URL, and then slice, we just say reviews our endpoint, right? This reviews endpoint is coming from this index page, this reviews, and this reviews is going to this route. So I'm just going to call this one reviews. See, if I call this one, is sending us empty array because in the database this doesn't have any value. So now we are going to do the create one. So when we're going to do the create one, what we have to do? We have to work on the two files. One is the routes. We have to call the create function, and we have to create a function on the our handler. So we just copy the create function from our products page. So here, so this is our create function. So the variable's name, what we have to pass. So this is our data type, data in our which we have to submit in our database. So
yeah.
So here we are going to duplicate, and we are making a post method.
Okay.
So, and here we just say base URL, and our URL will be the reviews. We are going to send our reviews here, and we're going to say body and row, and here JSON file. So we know the ID will be server generated. So we don't have to send the ID. We have to send only the comments, and we are not sending these comments also. Okay, so this product ID we have to send manually because we already know the product's ID. So we just say product ID equal to 1, and created this will be server generated. So you have to send this 3 value. ID will be server generated and time will be the server generated, right? So we have to send those 3 values. So when we're creating the function, then we have to also call these 3 variables here. So we need the comments variables from the body, request body. We need this rate, and we need this product ID. And this product ID must be exist in our product table, otherwise problem. So here we are going to change this table name equal to reviews, and here we are going to send comments rate and product ID. We don't need others, so we're just going to remove this. And the values, we are going to send comments, we are going to send rate, and we're going to send product ID. And those product ID actually is integer, so you don't need this double quote for that product ID. And we don't need this right thing. So did you understand this one? So
but
how
now you passing the ID manually, and then the ID is gonna make the join between
this ID means product ID. This ID is not the review ID.
No, this is the product ID. Okay, that's
so
gonna make
ID,
the join.
Yeah, when we create a join query, we have to say this product ID equal to our product table ID. Okay, so we're going to join with this product ID. So in the reviews, we are going to send those values. Okay, so in the post, we also do this random factor comments. Okay, so we just say here random have comments set. I'm not sure. Comments doesn't have the comments, so just say text something. Okay. Okay, just going to say run text, and this is rating is actually based on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm not sure is the factor have any rating.
I guess it has
numeric. You can select numeric or random.
No, number. If you use the numeric, then
it's gonna be more. Yeah.
It can be the out of the 5. So our rating is must be max 5. Okay, so you have to, I think we can put, currently we just send manually. So I just say 3 for now, and our product ID equal to 1. Okay, so we are just going to test our create post one, and okay, we just create a post, and here we doesn't call this
the
one
ID
in our
server generated.
in our
I'm confused.
Which one?
ID.
Yeah, our ID is server generated. So how is server generated? How do we know? So when we create this table, reviews table, so we create table reviews, and here this ID is server generated. Okay.
But when did you put the ID there on?
No, we don't have to send the ID.
Okay. You're getting by ID now. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So here you can see in the routes, we doesn't have the create route or push method. So you have to call our push method here. So push method endpoint is our slice, and we have to call our create function here. Okay. Make sense?
Yes.
So when we call our push method, it goes to create function, and then in create function, we call this query. So in the query, we just say insert into reviews table, comments, rate, and product ID, and here's the values. Oh, okay, we have to remove these breaks because we are not sending this break. So when you post something, insert in something, you have to must be sure these columns equal to this column name, and the values must be same. That means corresponding each others. So comments is here, and then after comma we are sending the rate. So we are getting the rate, and then product ID is from here. Okay, now we can test. So we go to our post method, Postman, and we are going to send a reviews. So here it will be reviews for the product ID 1. So and I say something error of JSON.
You can try it again. That happens sometime.
JSON plus.
Product ID or just ID again? Remember last time we had a problem like this because we were using product ID and was only ID?
No, in our table, we just use this ID equal to product ID.
You can try again to post, because sometimes I have the same problem, but when I try to send a request, it's work. You can try to send it again.
One more time.
but it's have the error.
Another weird error.
It's a 500 error. That means in our query have some problem inserting to reviews,
Let's
comments.
check the ID again, because last time was the ID.
Which ID?
Remember, it was written product ID, but it was supposed to be only ID.
No. Suppose if you check our tables here, okay, I'm going to show you this table here. So if you check the columns here, we have the ID. This ID is actually reviews ID.
Okay.
We have the comments, we have the rate, we have the product
Yes.
ID,
Yes.
and we have the created ID.
But the other table.
So this ID table, this product table, we have the ID. This is actually product ID, and okay, we can do one thing. We can actually just rename this ID to product ID.
Yes,
so,
I think it would be better.
But if we use change this one, then we have to change these handlers all here we use the higher method, like we just say here higher ID equal to this one, so we have to change this one also, product ID equal to product ID. So if we want to do this, we have to do every higher underscore ID. So I'm going to change this one as a product ID. Then I'm going to drop my those tables, and I'm going to insert again. Okay. So how to drop this one? So you can click here and you can say drop. Yes. And you also drop this one. So it doesn't have any tables here. And when we run this project, it will create new tables, right?
Okay.
So it will create new tables with the ID equal to product ID columns. So it's created the tables. If we check now in our tables here, we just refresh. So we have the tables. If we check this product columns, this product column is also equal to product ID, and it doesn't have any data now in this table, but because we just delete and drop and bring. Okay, so we are going to insert products again, and before that we have to do some modification here on the handler. So when we are saying here ID equal to product ID, we have to say product ID equal to product ID. Product underscore ID equal to product ID. When we are calling the single file, when we are updating the single file, also we have to call this one. And when we are going to delete this one, we also call this product ID. Okay, so this route is ready. We are going to insert some products again. So you go here, we just check if there have any products now. It will return 0 products, and we're going to add some products here.
Okay.
So we are going to create some products. We have the products ID 1. We're going to create again. We have the second products. We have the third products. It's something problem. If we click. So it's have third products. If we go to single products again, product ID 1. So the product ID 1 have these values. And if you're going to update products, so for the updates products, we're going to suppose change the price equal to 200 or not here. Here. Okay. So 200. So current price of this product 1. Okay, let's check again. So the product 1 current values is this thing. So we are going to update. So we are going to copy the same data here. Just we are going to change. We're not sending this one. We are not going to change those values also. Only we are going to change like price equal to 600. Rest is okay. So product ID 1 will be changed to this price also, and we can also delete products. Okay, it's also working. Now we are going to add this one. So it must be push method, and here we are going to send our product ID equal to 1, and comments is okay. Now have some problem, but it's not giving us the details. Okay, let's check what the problem. Okay, so here just I'm going to insert some data for now. So so here we just say we can actually directly insert command here. You just call here. We know the how to use the insert commands here. So we just say insert into. I'm just inserting one value to show you how to use the join queries. So here we just call our table name. So table name is reuse. Then we have to keep our column names. So we are going to insert comments, comment, and then rate, and then product ID. And here in the values, we are going to send a comment, say nice product, and rating we are going to send 3, and also for the products we are going to send 1, right? And we are going to run this one. Nice, but does not exist. Okay, we cannot send double quotation. We have to always send
Yes, yeah, single quotation. Yes.
single quotation. So we just remove this one. I just send this one. So is insert a value. So you just check our reviews table now. So in our reviews table, we have one values here data. Check this one. So this reviews is for the product 1, right? So we are going to join. We are just going to show the all reviews which is under this product details with the reviews, right? That means it's saying bring the reviews with products. So we have to show the all product details also. We have to show the reviews also, right? So how you join this one? So here we are going to call query tool. Here we're going to run our join query thing. So how to just say select. We just say select. Then we have to actually here when we run join query, we have to show the column name with the table name like product dot ID. This product's ID is means this product table ID. So it doesn't have the ID. We have the products dot. I have to put products underscore ID. Right, this column name. So how you call this one? We just say products table is a table name dot our column name product underscore ID.
Yes.
Then we need the product's name. So products dot name, and we also name the description. Then we are going to call this brand also.
Product ID, product.
Then image URL.
In my mind, I would do like product name where product ID is product ID tal. But I think it's more confusing, right?
No. After I run this one, then you can understand what happening. Okay. So we are just taking all details from the products and also the products dot category. here actually why we are not saying a star, select a star from here, because we are going to take two tables columns here. So we, then when we run the query doesn't understand these parameters is from the product table or from the reviews table. That's why you have to say when we are calling the columns, you have to say table name dot column name. Now we have to take the comments from the our reviews table. So you can say reviews here dot comments, and then we need the rate also. So you just say reviews dot rate, and we need the product ID. Okay. So after this one, we just say hire product dot product underscore ID equal to 1. So before you do this, we have to do something. We have to say, okay, from products. Okay. So after suppose those whole thing, we are just calling from products, and then we have to say inner join reviews. Can understand from products. Then we are going to say inner join
reviews.
Then we have to say on. That means based on. Here we just say products dot product ID equal reviews dot, here also have the product ID column, right? Product underscore ID, and then we just say hire product dot product ID equal to 1. Understand this one whole thing?
Makes sense.
So I'm just going to align this one like this, suppose, and this one on. Now understand?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, now it's better. Yeah, on product ID.
So we are selecting those columns from the product table, those columns from the reviews table, from the products, and I'm just saying this product tables inner join with the reviews table on based on product ID. That means product table ID equal to reviews product ID.
Okay.
The same, and where product tables ID equal to 1, we will get this one. So here if we run this one, so it's sending us the, see, those all column is coming from our product table. If we go next, we can see the nice products, and these 3 also rating from the our reviews page.
Okay.
So this one, so if have suppose only one column, but if have the most lots of reviews, or is give us the same thing for the 3 times.
Yeah, of course, yes. Yeah. Okay, but I thought that you can do that also in the Visual Studio Code, no?
Which one? This one.
To make them join, you can do that in Visual Studio Code,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, fine. That means this one we will run. Suppose here we have to create a function. So currently in the function, suppose here, okay, for the least one, right? So for the least one, if we change, suppose single product, if we change this one, this query here, suppose this here. So if we select this query here, and here this product ID 1, so we are not sending 1, we are saying $, this parameters equal to this parameter ID, product ID. Okay.
That is in single products. That is the put, right?
Single products. This is not put. This is the get by ID. Get by ID. So yeah. So in the Postman, if you go to single products, and if we run this one, so it will return us all details with the reviews. So here have some errors. View in console. Oh, okay, our server is not run. So if we now call our single columns, it will return us with the reviews.
With the reviews, okay. Yeah, makes sense.
So the server is running. If we now say, so it's returning, see?
Yeah,
it's returning
with...
us this one with the reviews also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So this is how we are going to call our join function.
To join, okay.
Okay. So you guys now can try this CRUD function. That means this one I already created in my here. That means on the routes function I already handle. I just created the handle one and the routes also. Just when you do it, just you can copy the functions and routes from here product table, and you can apply it here.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, then when you guys are doing this one reviews one, I'll try this one. Okay, product image.
Okay, thank you, Mohammed. I'm gonna
So
try to do it because